Why is that a bad thing? Oh, because analytically, you know what? That means that we're not practicing doing that enough.
Right.
All we're trying to do is hit the damn ball over the fence. Well, you know what? That shit doesn't always work. Okay, and it's not fun to watch. He had a good pitch to hit, but he hit it a mile high, and the pitcher caught it. And that's stupid. And to watch baseball and then them talk about how batting average is a thing of the past and it's on base percentage. You know what? On base means I got to hit too. So I want a guy who's going to hit 300.
It's not like people are walking at record clips right
now.
No,
they're not. So what's the point of that?
Right.
To me, it's stupid. We might make the game speed go faster. Well, if you're not and enjoy it, then people aren't teaching their kids about the game, and they don't need to be watching it anyway. They'll come, they'll get their little selfies, they'll do their stuff and sit there, and they might get hit by a stupid baseball in the stands. That's their problem. Put your little net up, and let's go with it. Who cares?
Well, I think the biggest thing we've missed about the game of baseball is the opportunity to put the small ball back into baseball, which makes it exciting, where – that shift, every time the shift went on, if I was a freaking hitter and they put the shift on me, I'd bunt the dang thing down third baseline every freaking time.
Right.
And make them get out of that thing and find a way to make the game exciting, to make the defense make a play. And to me, coaching a 12U team right now, I'm teaching small ball left and right every day in practice. Every time we practice, we're talking small ball. We're talking about guy with one out, guy at second base, guy at third base. Hit the ball to the right side, move him over, or scoring from third if you're there. With less than 2 outs. It's just the common thing of those one-run opportunities make a difference in the game and makes it exciting, makes it more enjoyable to watch. When you don't have that, I think you take away from the game if it's either a grand slam or a home run or a walk or a strikeout. Yep. Those three things happen consistently. You don't see a ground out to second base from a guy to move a guy to second to third with one out, and then all of a sudden you see a pop fly to the right field. Cardinals had the chance on Sunday when I was at that game Sunday, had a chance with the bases loaded and nobody out and couldn't with our top three hitters and could not find a way to score runs.
Wait, you got the extra innings rule.
I like it.
I don't mind it. But you know what you don't see?
Right.
You don't see the bunt to get the guy to third.
Yes.
Suicide squeeze.
Find a way.
Well,
safety squeeze.
Ground ball.
Then hit the fly ball.
Yeah.
Nothing. Hit the ball the other way. No, I can't do that. Why?
Because it's not taught.
It's not taught.
Yeah.
It's not taught.
Yeah.
So guess what? That doesn't happen. So the team, every team should be able to put at least one run in when they have a runner on second with no outs. Yeah. That's why they put the rule in, so you don't have to go to 12 innings anymore. You don't have to go to 16 innings anymore. It should be real quick.
Right.
And the team that can play defense against that, bring the infield in when the runner's on third with one out, they're the team that should win the game.
Yeah. Well, and I honestly believe that I don't like the idea of that. These are professionals out there. Why do we need to say we got to put a guy on second?
Because that's time. Because heaven forbid, we live in such a world now that everything's controlled.
Everything's got to be this instant.
Yeah, that's what makes baseball different, and that's the beauty part about baseball is that there's no time limit on this thing, and that it can go however many innings it needs to, and we just aren't.
It's about money.
Here's
it's
the
about
thing.
money. It's about competing against these sports that are instant gratification.
I paid money to go to that game the other day.
Yeah.
And it went to the extra innings.
Yeah, and
did you stay?
Oh, I said the whole dang thing.
Okay, I was
because I want to get my money.
So I was
worth.
really gonna bash you.
It was frustrating to me. I'm like, these are professionals. Why do we got to put a guy on second base in the professionals?
That goes in. Okay, you talk about it. He said money, but here's the other thing. It also goes back to the players because you can't have 10, 12, 14, 16 inning type games because you don't have the roster to do that.
You're professionals. Find a way.
Hello.
You're making $14.7 million.
But think about our starting
Matt
staff.
Carpenter's pitching.
That's the
Who
point.
gives a rat's rip?
I don't, but I'm just telling you that's their
because the professionals can't get out can't get past 5 innings.
Well, or the professionals can't lay down a dang bunt because they don't frickin' practice it.
I hear you.
Point taken.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, it's aggravating. It's
Dang,
like,
look at the baseball coaching over there coming out over here.
Here's the thing, right? So before the Chicago series, we can kind of talk just a little bit about the team and then wrap this segment up. But, boy, I tell you what, I heard on the radio before the Cubs series, oh, man, the St. Louis Cardinals have this 5-year window of just greatness, and they should win a World Series and go to 2 World Series and be in the playoffs every year and win the division every year. And I'm thinking, we're 3 games up going into the Cubs series. We got demolished by the Padres. We can't beat the Dodgers. The Braves are really good. What in the – just because we beat the weak, lame, and blind right now in Pittsburgh and whoever else, what are you thinking? And then what happens? Now we've lost – how many?
4 out of the last 6.
We've won what? Yeah, 1 out of
1
2 out of the last 6 games.
It's the O'Neal effect.
The O'Neal effect.
Well, and I honestly believe, Coach, and you know as well as I do, you coach baseball. And you've coached baseball in the past.
Not well.
Well, I didn't say that. I said you coached.
Dang!
Still like you.
Hold on, I want to know though. If it's break blitz for football, what are we saying? And hey, just go, man.
Well, whenever I was hitting fly balls to the outfielders, sometimes they didn't fly very far. Sometimes they rolled about 8 feet. Sometimes they missed the bat. Sometimes they went over their head and over the fence. Don't like hitting in and out.
Did old catcher side go? I got it from here, Chris.
I said, listen, if you want somebody else, just let me know, man. I mean, do the best I can. South Iron wasn't known for baseball back in the day. We won a district this year.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was
I think
19, 20 years ago almost now. So.
But you got to look at the game of baseball, and I honestly think that the game of baseball has changed in the last 10 years because it's become more of let's all hit for a home run. Every time you get up, you're swinging for a home run. You're swinging for a home run. You don't see the base hit up the middle. You don't see the line drive over the second baseman's head.
This is why Yachty's still playing.
Exactly right.
This is exactly why Yachty's still playing.
Because that's the kind of baseball player he is.
Yep.
And, is consistent, and then as long as he's been around, he's played the game the same way year in and year out. And, as much as he doesn't hit home runs consistently, he looks to get on. He will find a way to score a run. I mean, he wants to win as bad as anyone on that team, and he does whatever it takes to put himself in a position for that. And I think that the game has changed that way. It's not about putting my team at the best position to win. I think it's all about, hey, I got to hit a home run here. I got to get that $1 million contract next year.
That does remind me, I'm perfectly fine with the 3-0 home run that the White Sox hitter hit a couple weeks ago.
Boy, La Russa wasn't.
Huh? Who cares? Once again, professional.
Yeah.
You're getting.
I don't think it's necessarily the fact he swung on 3-0 against a position pitcher when they were just beating the piss out of him. I think it's the fact that he was given the take sign and he didn't do what the coach told him to
now
do.
That's
at the
totally
end of the day,
different.
At the end of the day, if La Russa wouldn't have given him any sign and he would have swung on his own that's fine, whatever.
Yes.
You put a position player in and it's just clown time at that point in times, whatever. But if if the coach tells you to do something, you don't do it. How would you feel if it was you? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's okay. He can do that.
Well,
no, you can't.
I don't think that's what they were ever arguing.
I think that's what La Russa's problem was.
Well, him, but I'm talking about
the media.
Everybody else, fans, media.
The media jumps on anything they want to hear, but
Right.
they didn't exactly come out and say it exactly what happened. That's
Well,
what
of
happened.
course not.
Tony gives him the take sign, whatever that is, and he didn't do it.
Right.
Well, okay, at the end of the day, you didn't listen to your coach. If Tony would have wanted him to go ahead and swing on 3-0, you told him to swing on 3-0. There might have been a reason why.
Right.
And as much as I didn't ever agree with Tony La Russa when he was a manager, he did win 2 World Series while he was here. I'm going to say he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Even if he's 90 years old or whatever, and he looks like he's about ready to die.
Right.
But I think it was more than just that. I think it was the old school baseball in him.
Right.
But
he shouldn't have been
the
swinging.
unwritten
Okay,
rule.
so whatever the reason may be, he told him not to do it. That's the end of the story. Whatever the reason was, if he didn't feel like it was going to be a good pitch to hit, he gave him the take sign. If you tell a kid, hey, I don't want you to shoot the ball, and they do it.
Right.
Oh, he hit it 3. I told him not to. Come on out. Coach, I made it. Yeah, I told you not to shoot it.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, okay, let's just say,
old school mentality,
if a
man.
team's beating the hell out of you and one of their kids shoots a 3 and makes it,
Jarvis is okay with
Lay
that.
down.
Jarvis is okay with that.
Are you going to have a problem with it? Yeah, they're rubbing your nose in it.
He's fine with rubbing noses in it, though.
Just saying.
I'm not fine with rubbing
Sure
nose
you
in
are.
it. I said if you have your freshman tailback in, you're not going to.
Okay, well, that guy wasn't the freshman tailback. That's a starter
Right.
who swung on a 3-0 pitch. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter
So what-
if the fact that LaRussa,
So
the
what do you
coach,
think
the
about
manager,
South Iron and the way they did this year?
then you know what? I can only say what I would do if I was the coach, and I've already explained that part of
Okay.
it. So maybe we'll get to see that this year.
I honestly believe here's what I tell you about the game of baseball, and I think that point taken is here. When you coach the way you coach, there's a reason why LaRussa got mad. He coaches old school baseball.
Right.
Let's find a way to win the game the right way. Let's do it. Let's put the bunt down and move him over from first to second with less than one out, and then find a way to get him to third.
Sure.
And try to find a way to get him in. And the little things like that, the game has completely changed and gone away from that.
Yeah.
And so when you tell a kid or an adult to take a pitch and they don't do it,
Okay, Chris,
honestly,
did he sit the next game?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm guessing he didn't. So
I don't
therefore-
follow the White Sox
all
too
I'm
much.
all I'm going to say is that I don't know if LaRussa told him not to swing. Because if LaRussa was that upset about it, he's probably not
But
playing the next game.
He might have just pulled him in the office and said, hey, don't do that. I
There
gave you a
was
take
something
sign.
that
Then he wouldn't have
something
said what
happened
he
to him.
said.
Something happened to him. I thought.
I think he pulled him out of the game, didn't he?
No, because
Oh.
it was at the end of the game when that
I
happened.
don't know what he did. There was something. I'd have to look
There
it up and read it.
okay.
I don't know.
Well,
Coach Sproul wants to know here.
I wore a dress playing golf, and I suck at golf, and this 2-year-old can kick my ass at it.
Oh, okay.
it happens.
By the way, if anybody wants to know, I suck at golf. Let's just get it out there. Ray's got a video. He's probably more than happy to show
What's
me putting
the
the damn
Jarvis
ball
is
in
still
the.
anchor?
Yeah, we were talking about the relays.
Relay.
Oh, God. Shut up, Sproul.
Well, that's
yeah, I think that covered. I think that
local
covered some
national
local.
scene of sports here in St.
Wait
Louis.
a minute.
With the,
national scene of sport. We ain't even talked about the NBA at all.
well, that's not.
Is
that's-
anybody even watching?
I am.
You're what?
I
I'm
watch
a
tell you
Laker
who else
fan.
You're
is
watching
now
the
what-
coach's
What's
box.
that?
No one's watching
The NBA?
Okay.
Association?
It's playoffs. I watch.
Yeah, okay.
I watched the finals.
When there's nothing else on,
Oh.
I mean,
I think I'd rather watch the
There's
paint dry.
nothing else on. There's baseball on all
Yeah.
day long.
Yeah, Coach Sproul, I think I
there's
believe
not
in.
baseball on all day.
By the
long.
way, we are dealing with some major issues, and I'm about ready to throw all my equipment into the trash.
Needs more
It's
apple
that
juice.
bad today.
More juice.
Doesn't have anything
my
to do with the
gosh.
apples.
It's a rayable.
But Coach Jarvis is the anchor. He will always be the
Will.
anchor.
yeah, if you need your
Is that what you're trying
if
to
you
say?
need your
Hey,
boat to
are
stay
you
in the
trying
same
to say
spot.
is he weighing us down? Is that he's weighing the show down?
That might be what Coach Sproul is trying
is that,
to say.
Is that
I
why
don't
there's
know.
always technical difficulties? It's Jarvis's fault. He's weighing the internet down.
Wow.
Oh goodness. Well, Ray,
All right, Ray. Let's see if we can get you to.
We'll send it off to you for a little commercial break and come back with segment 3, which is talking a little bit about some of the changes to high school sports from Misha. So we'll be interested to see what those changes are coming up here in the third segment.
Yes, Josh Spool, issues.
Tune in.
You are watching the Coach's Box. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ray Halbrook from Livestream STL. And I'm Danny Sigmund with Rock Memorial Post 283 American Legion Baseball. We'll be partnering this summer with Livestream to bring you all of Rock's action for the entire season online. If you can't make it out to the field this summer, please click the link below. You'll be able to watch all the action online. If any businesses out there would like to sponsor us, please reach out to Ray at Livestream STL. Part of the proceeds that are generated will go back to the baseball.
We hope to see you online and at the ball field.
I'm about to get teed up.
What? I'm talking to them. I'm not talking to you. Are you kidding me? You're throwing me out of a summer league game? I'm not Riley Blair. I'm not going anywhere. Shoot the free throws. Shoot the cops. Join us. Coach's Box, 7 p.m. live from Las Vegas. Tuesday night. See you there.
What you guys do for Jefferson County sports, it doesn't go unnoticed by the coaches in all sports.
Yeah,
all
I appreciate
sports.
That.
You know, I have a lot of friends that are head, basketball coaches, and I've been, of course, around Jefferson County all my life and followed all kinds of sports, even before I got into the coaching. So what you guys do to help promote it with the kids is unbelievable, and we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
For you guys to take your time and what you do is awesome. Just awesome.
Yeah, well, we try, we work hard, and we think they deserve it. The kids deserve to be able to be seen, and if we can turn out kids in the community to better them, get them in college, and make them a better citizen, that's the key.
For fine Mexican cuisine,
a family atmosphere,
any place to watch your local sport teams. Come out to La Pechangas.
Check out our 4 locations: Arnold, Herculaneum, Crystal City, and Bonne Terre.
Come out to La Pechanga.
We hope you're enjoying tonight's presentation. Take advantage of the HD experience here with Livestream STL by going to the TKDS Sports Network app. Download the app and subscribe by going to videos.tkdssports.com. That'll get you access onto our TKDS Sports app, Roku, and Fire Stick. And thanks so much for your support of Livestream STL.
Okay. All right. Yep.
Hi, I'm Ray Halbrook from Livestream STL.
And I'm Zach Bone with Festus Post 253 American Legion Baseball. No, I don't like that either. Let's go back.
Hi, I'm Ray Halbrook with Livestream STL.
And I'm Zach Bone with Festus Post 250.
Hi, I'm Ray Halbrook with Livestream STL.
And I'm Zach Bone with Festus Post 253 American Legion Baseball. This summer, we're partnering with Livestream STL for a fundraiser that will bring you every game of the 2021 season right here on Livestream STL. If you're interested in signing up, please click the link below. If you're interested in sponsoring one of these games, please contact Livestream. A portion of all proceeds will be donated back to the Festus American Legion Baseball program.
We hope to see you out at the ball field and online.
Better?
Perfect.
Right.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Jefferson College has affordable degree options for students of all ages. Plus, register before December 11th and you could win a $250 book scholarship or other great prizes. Jefferson College provides safe on-site and online options and many exciting career pathways like humanities, business, social science and public service, math, physics and technology, and science and health. Students who know, go Jeffco. Enroll now at jeffco.edu.
I do this for the love of the kids. I do it for the love of the coaches and the ADs because there's not enough high school coverage in the St. Louis area. There's just not. Once again, I get to keep my relationships with, guys like you and a lot of the other great coaches and administrators and former athletes. And that's one of the cool things that we're going to do here too. Is I've been fortunate covering some great great coaches and great kids, but the Caravan wasn't letting it die. And sure enough, we're here now, and the reboot is in full effect.
Guys, I've always wanted to ask you this since you're both pitchers. What's your favorite pitch? It's a fastball? Okay, I know. It's a curveball. No? Okay, well, what's your favorite pitch? Oh, yeah. Spitball.
The Main Street Sports Show. You never know what we're going to throw at you.
Hey, this is Chris Miller, and you're watching the Coach's Box on Livestream STL, the best sports streaming show there is on Facebook.
And we are back for round number 3 here, our final segment here. And guys are getting their headsets back on here. Are we going to do trivia tonight, or do we not?
Trivia.
No trivia tonight. Okay,
nope.
so we're going to.
It's a rayable. Nope.
Oh.
No trivia tonight. Blair gets to keep the trophy for another week.
Yeah, So.
Stays in Black Cat Land for at least another week.
Right.
You're as bad as guy next to you.
Doesn't
bring a cup.
Well, I thought we were doing an audible, so I know it's not going to Lancer Land this week, so we're good.
Dang it.
One way or the other. One way or the other. What's not going
there? Dang it. Oh, not going to Lancer Land.
Lancer Land for what?
I didn't mean to do that twice. Sorry.
These two yo-yos.
Yeah.
At least staying in Black Cat Land
all right.
one more week.
Big news for all the Misha.
Hey, before that.
Okay, go ahead.
O'Neill, 2-run dog.
O'Neill.
You guys said, I told you the O'Neill factor. I know they're playing Arizona, but
Okay,
he didn't play against the Mothers. Yep, O'Neill.
He didn't.
O'Neill.
Anyway,
yeah.
He's got 9 dongs and played in like 30 games.
Well, how many strikeouts?
I don't
got?
care.
What's his batting average?
I don't care.
200.
What's his on base percentage?
What's his RBIs?
He's batting. He's batting 200.
Yeah, exactly.
He's batting as good. He's batting better than Pujols, and you wanted that guy back.
Yeah, but I never wanted Pujols to start. You want this guy to start.
You want Pujols back. You know you do.
I want him back, but I don't want him to start. I would start O'Neill over him.
I want Pujols back because this guy will go and watch another game after that.
Right? I would. 100%.
Hey, by the way, 100% capacity here pretty soon, too.
Nice.
When are we all going?
June 15th.
I'm not going, Ray. They're not getting my money. Unless you're buying. They're not getting my money.
Do I have to pull out the 1-800-SUCK-IT?
We could do the coach's box.
I think you just did.
Outside the stadium.
No, we can't do that either.
And then
we
go
can't
in.
do that
That
either.
would be awesome.
We can't go up there either.
He's batting 250.
We
Okay,
can't.
who is Pujols?
No.
Oh,
Tyler O'Neill is batting 250 now with 9 homers.
They
Now
can't,
he's batting
and 18
251.
RBIs.
they can't
Nice
tell us what we can and can't
sorry.
do on the
20
corner
RB.
of 7th and freaking
Sure
Market.
they can. It's called you got to have a permit
Hey,
to
he's
go out
batting
there.
250,
No.
9 home runs, and 20 RBIs.
No.
I don't care if any of you.
Oh, my gosh.
Everybody at
Butts
home's
are not listening.
Everybody at home is listening to you,
No, I'm
Jarvis.
the anchor. Shut up.
Hey, at least you finally figured that out. I like it.
What?
Coach. You're the anchor.
I don't get the music played all the time when I talk. You're right. As you talk so damn long.
Oh, gosh.
I never
But
talk too much.
here, this will get him going. Let's talk about the new Misha news that came out last week and a half. Let's kind of
Ray,
talk
you
about
got that? You got that picture up?
Well, I'm dealing with some major issues.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and talk about the first.
I don't even know if the show's up right now.
The show's up,
Oh.
audio only right now, and again,
The broadcast has been paused.
I'm about ready to throw some things.
Yeah. My mom just sends me a message and says the full moon must have everybody cranky but you.
Whoa.
Isn't that
I'm not cranky
This guy's not
either.
cranky?
Not
Well,
cranky.
what's going
Hey,
on?
it's last day of school.
That is the only
last day
cranky.
of school today.
I think
Cranky.
Jarvis is in a great mood tonight.
I
Yeah,
am.
that's 2 weeks in a row. Right. That's 2 weeks in a row.
This is 2 weeks in a row.
Right.
Jarvis being a positive.
That's right.
It's all about the water, I think, man. I think it's all about
tea.
the water.
It's that tea.
That's special tea.
That's water.
On water. I had one tea today.
Oh, you know.
Hey.
So let's go back to these. The MSHSAA has ballot results and changes for the 2021-22 season. Contest limitations. Instead of number of games and the number of tournaments on a sliding scale, we will now have a total number of games that you can play per sport. For example, 6 games per year, volleyball 36, baseball and softball 36. So, you're instead of you saying you can play in 16 regular season games in 3 tournaments, or 18 and 2, or 20 and 1, now you can play a total of 26 games, no matter how you do it. Mm-hmm. You can play in 4 tournaments and only have 10 games if you get, however many out of that to total up to 26.
How come we don't have basketball set up like volleyball and baseball on a Saturday, to where 3 teams get together and say, or 4, and say, let's do 2 games in a day? Why is that not a thing? Chris?
Because MSHSAA sucks.
Well, I honestly, I think it.
MSHSAA is pretty much like socialist control of sports in Missouri.
I think the socialists have my
internet.
They've hacked into my internet.
No, you just ain't got enough apple juice over there. I don't know if they have any apple juice here. They might have some that's apple flavored.
I know this show's Call It Like We See It, but you're calling it a little too much tonight.
And
hey,
1-800.
I'll be on assignment.
I don't know. 911 might get dialed here in a little bit. I don't know.
So
all of a sudden, you're going to hear Michael Jackson.
What do you guys think about that? So what do you guys think about that? Do you think that you're going to see more teams maybe if they're not in a conference playing in more tournaments? Or do you see teams playing in maybe less tournaments and playing all regular season games?
I think if you are a big-time team program, you probably get in a couple extra tournaments.
Yeah,
I would have played more tournaments if I was one of those teams. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You okay?
Sorry.
Well, man.
Here's what
it's bedtime.
Okay, you opened it up. I'm gonna slam some crap on this.
Wow! Slam it home.
I'm sorry.
Slam it home. He brought it up first with MSHSAA sucks, and this is all about Class 6, Class 5, and Class 4 schools. And I know we're Class 4, but I'm talking about the big ones that we were by 12 kids.
Yeah, you'll probably have by 24 next year.
So what I'm saying is, they don't care about these schools that the kids are playing 3 sports. This is going to benefit your Chaminades and all these guys that they're only playing 1 sport, and so now, they're going to be practicing that. They're already doing it anyway. So
we haven't even gotten to that point.
And I'm
yet.
not blaming Chaminade. I wasn't just. I just
Sounds
wanted
like
popped
you
in my
Chaminade.
head. That just popped in my head, but I'm just saying, all it is helping is these big schools.
Yeah,
right. Well, no, he didn't even get to.
Well, I know he
that
hasn't
point.
Get to that point.
But before we go on to that point, do you think that as far as scheduling goes, do you see more?
I see more, depending on the sport. I think if you're an AD now, Chris, you've been an AD, so you can answer this. I think you're going to see a lot more tournaments, whether it's round robin, tournaments. Because if you're an AD, you can be like, hey, I can get a team here that gets 3-4 ball games this week. And
never have to leave,
and not have, it's in the same spot. I'm not going to have to call 3 different schools if something gets snowed out, or rained out, or whatever. And I don't know. I think it's probably just easier to get into a lot of tournaments.
Well, and I think as far as if you're successful and you go into postseason, you're going to have to play. 3 or 4 games there in a week to win a district title, and then you're going to turn around and have to play a Wednesday and then a Saturday after that, back to back. So I think that it sets you up if you're a team that maybe thinks they have a chance to have a little bit of a run, you might get in more tournaments to try to prepare your kids for that back-to-back games, and then maybe a couple days off and then a championship or whatever.
Now, I do think on the flip side, if it's done correctly, like, we're going to take a top-tier team. They're probably going to want to go in more tournaments. I think if you're maybe a team that is trying to build, I think it works great because then you could say, let's see if we can find some other teams that are on the same level of trying to build,
right?
And you can get a whole bunch of more games that way instead of having to play a tournament where you're going to be the 8th seed and then you're going to get drubbed by the first 2 games. And I think conversely, it might help a team that is trying to build. I could see that.
And I also think that you also look at it as tournaments play. I don't see that. Maybe the flip side of that is I'm not only going to get in a tournament that's going to guarantee me 3 games.
Yeah.
Because I only got a 26 limit. So if I'm not going to get in a tournament if it's not guaranteeing me 3.
Mm-hmm.
If it's only getting me 2, I'm not going to get in. Honestly, I have to have. Now I've got 26 games.
And Jarvis, you've been in Park Hills tournament. Why is that it's Christmas? Everybody's off. Why can't they get 3 games in, even if it's
because they're doing boys and girls at the same time.
Yeah. But okay,
one
fine.
Gym.
But no, it doesn't have to be one gym. That's what I'm saying. Would you rather stay down there and play 3 games, and hypothetically play your 3rd one off site, as long as you get a 3rd game?
I would rather get 3 games. It's rough when you go down there and you get 2 games, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And then you 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday, and then Tuesday you turn around at 10 a.m. and you're done.
That's not worth being in
12
that
hours
tournament.
later and you're done.
Yeah.
Well, it's the most prestigious tournament.
It's one of there's 3 big Christmas tournaments in the state of Missouri, and it's
that's
one
one
of them.
of the big ones. And that's
growing program. Like you were saying, you'd probably want to be in more tournaments. The other thing that's probably going to play into it is athletic directors, so they don't have to keep flipping and flopping on their schedules and finding teams.
Yes.
I'll just lock you into these tournaments, and hey, that's what we're going to do, and just roll it over for next year, and it's just real easy because you're going to be in this tournament, and hey, if we do these tournaments, we just guarantee 3 games. The other thing is it's hard for, let's just say you're not a very competitive school, and you're trying to find a tournament. Well, it's hard to get into some of these other tournaments, and then you're always playing for last place. Mm-hmm. Now these other schools can have tournaments where they're not all very competitive.
Correct.
And they can play each other, and at least the kids are playing for something.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, when you're trying to build a program, so if you're starting at a new place that's doesn't have a tradition of winning or hasn't in a long time, and you're trying to get your kids to understand what it's like to win, you can build success by being in a tournament that's maybe doesn't have a bunch of powerhouses in it. So I would look for more tournaments than I would to have less tournaments and more games.
Well, we're in the middle of a 2-year cycle. That's the other problem.
I hate hearing that.
That's
Me too.
meaningless.
Why do you need a 2-year cycle?
Well,
districts are in a 2-year cycle. So why do we have to have a 2-year? Why do you have to, yeah.
Okay, I'm just telling you what I've been told by people above me.
Right.
And here's the other thing that I can say. I will say that this, and I would love for any local athletic director to come and sit in that seat and tell us what their guidelines as far as what they're being told from the upper administration on how they need to approach this. Now that this has came down, what do you think schools should do more of? Should they find a way to get in tournaments where you play 4 games in a week, and then you have a couple weeks off, and then you play a couple games, and then you have a couple weeks off, to decrease travel throughout a long season, especially in basketball? Okay, so let's say we're going to go to a tournament. We're going to play 4 days during that week. We're going to play in a tournament, and then we're going to have 2 weeks off where we don't have no travel, no games, and then we're going to go and play in another tournament, and we'll go 4 days that week, where it limits your off campus or on a bus or having to deal with all of that stuff, having supervisors, people to run the clock, people to do the gate, all these things that they're having a struggle finding. Do you think that you see more of, like you said, tournaments being created because that's the most feasible thing for school districts to do.
So why not just do this then? If we're worried about that travel and we're worried about all these nights that they're out, why don't we just have, considering how many weekends we have, even discounting and not just play three games
a week
every weekend like AAU does, and you'll get your 26 games in. You have basically a whole week to prepare for that whole tournament. You could even give the kids a Monday off if you need to. And that way they're not out of school as much. And
Friday,
that way
Saturday.
they're not traveling during the week as much. And they have time to do all their homework. And it benefits the schools that only have 4-day calendars. Let's just do that and just say hell with it.
But that's too simple.
So you go
too logical.
Why?
It's
That's
too
what
logical.
AAU does. And AAU's taken over the world, so why not just do that?
I mean, you get into
There's your
for
winner.
basketball.
Done.
I hear you.
Fixed.
I hear you, but you also got snow.
Well, it is.
You
It's
get
playing.
snow, though. Then what are you going to do?
Well, just cancel it.
So then the games are gone?
Yeah.
No. There's still extra weekends to have here.
You're ready to give up every weekend
No.
you have from the month of November till
Well, I already
March.
give up most of the days anyway. I mean, just what's the difference? I'm just saying you have extra weekends in case there's snow.
Yeah. Well, Blair, drop the bombshell controversial topic here that Michigan just came out with.
All right.
I thought I had.
So
I know.
out of season
asked.
practice periods.
Yeah.
Out. Let me restate that.
Now, this is not contact days.
No, this has nothing to do with contact days. This is out of season practice. Let me specify that again.
Come on, Chris.
Practice.
Come on, Chris.
Periods.
I already said.
Not.
This is built for the big schools.
Not during
I don't
the
think
summer.
it's built for. I think
It is during the fiscal
How
school
do you figure it's not?
year.
I think it's built for the programs. I think it's built for what you're going to see. Go ahead, finish it, and
Okay.
I'll explain it.
So, you may practice 7 weeks prior to the start of your season for up to 3 hours a week with no more than an hour and a half per day. These practices can be 100% practice, strategy, skill work, etc. Your open facilities and weight training throughout the school year does not change. It will remain the same. So, 7 weeks from the fall season, which basically means 7 weeks from the last day of school, 7 weeks prior, the fall sports can now practice for 3 hours a week for 7 weeks in a row. And then winter sports can practice for 7 weeks prior to the winter season, which would basically means most of the fall. Okay? And then spring sports can practice for 7 weeks during the winter season while
Tell
the
him
sports
not
are
to
gone.
do that.
So my concern and my question is, does that mean that does that mean this? Does that mean that you're going to see more of those schools and programs trying to maybe start maybe more of having an issue with sharing kids? Because if I have a kid that plays maybe let's say I'm a fall coach and I have a kid that plays a spring sport, but I want to practice and you have a practice and I want to practice from 5 to 7 after your practice is over twice a week, or maybe 5 to 6:30. Sorry, an hour and a half practice. I'm going to practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays on our off days if you have a game.
Right.
How do you think that's going to handle with smaller said coach, where it considers a smaller school as has?
So you're going to want your starting point guard, who also plays on the baseball team, practicing baseball every Tuesday and Thursday during the middle of basketball season?
He's your catcher. What do you do?
I guess he's going to make a choice. We'll just let the kids make the choices on that. If we're going to let out of sports seasons start their practice with kids who play multiple sports, then the kids or the parents or whoever wants to make that decision, they can basically change the entire complexion of your season playing in or doing any baseball, and all of a sudden his baseball coach, and he's a baseball one kid. I'm just using baseball as an example. Nothing against baseball. I'm a basketball coach. So he goes and says, hey, coach, my coach says that I want to, we're going to start doing practice, or we're going to hit, or we're going to do all this stuff. So I'm not going to be at practice 2 or 3 days a week. Well, it ain't like I don't have the AAU basketball schedule where I'm practicing. I'm only playing games on weekends. So we've got games that he's actually not seeing the scouting report for, or being prepared for, and he's missing those practices. We're allowing those kids to have that opportunity to make that choice. Plus, we're also putting it in the hands of irresponsible coaches who are going to make kids make that choice. Because realistically, that's the wrong thing to do.
Right.
And that's going to happen. Somebody who doesn't give a rat's butt about your sport is going to make that kid make a decision, and it's going to alter your season altogether.
Uh-huh.
That's what they're opening the door for.
That's
is
what I'm saying.
some jackass coach to make that decision to say, we're going to do this. And it's not, hey, we're going to do it for guys who aren't playing the other sports. No, they're going to do it for all their kids.
Right.
Oh, I told him not to do it, but it's okay if he does, and he shows up, and he ruins your sport. And if I did that, it'd be the same thing. I'd be the jackass too.
Yeah.
And that's the BS that they're doing with it. That's a stupid thing. You're right. It only benefits the large schools.
Yeah,
who don't have to share.
I don't think it. I think it benefits the top program of a school.
It benefits the schools that don't have to worry about
they don't
sharing.
Have to share athletes.
They might share one or two,
but they're not sharing
and
I'm sharing all.
It's still, even with them, it still makes somebody have to make a poor choice, and you're putting the onus. What's going to happen is you're going to change. You're going to change and alter the season that you're currently having.
The postseason.
That's part of the season.
That's the worst part of it. It's not even going to be,
districts.
So now we're going to let them start playing baseball in the middle of basketball season. So I'm going to start basketball in the middle of football season. I'm a football coach too. How is that going to work? That's the stupidest. When I read that thing, I was just like, well, are you killing me? Are you kidding me?
Here's what I think.
I don't even know why you'd put that on there.
The biggest problem that you're going to come into is you're going to make a high school kid decide.
What if he's a kid that just plays baseball's his number one sport,
right?
So what's he going to tell your basketball coach?
Yeah, but I'm saying is that you're going to tell that kid you got to make a decision.
Coach is the other coach is not
exactly
right,
and I think it's going to really struggle, and you're going to see programs who are low in numbers, going to struggle.
Well, they're going to go away. So
yes,
it's going to happen.
That's
why I said, and we could talk whether it's the boy side or the girl side, and all of that. But I think when you talk about it, you look at the prime programs for the school. For every school is known for a program.
Yes.
Every school, and it's not just about football, but every school is known for a particular sport. That sport, through this decision, just got bigger.
Oh yeah.
And all of the other programs just became even more, I don't know if you want to call it inferior, but it's down by the wayside. And there's not a thing that those coaches can do in those other programs. They can't do it because you can't, as a coach, now go say to your boss, your AD, hey, I'm in season and I don't have little Johnny or I don't have Susie. Sorry, that's the rule. And mom and dad and the kid want them to go work on their swing instead of shooting a ball.
They already do it anyway. If they do it, let's be honest here. It's not like people don't practice out a season,
right?
Okay, so let's just put that on the table. Okay,
right.
People practice out a season.
Sure, they do.
It's not like it's the worst kept secret around. Nobody abides by contact days. They can say what they want. Nobody abides by any of that stuff. The fact of the matter is, this is a stupid rule to actually put it on paper and say, hey, we're doing this. Mm-hmm. Why? Who does this really benefit? It doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't benefit anybody. It's stupid.
Well,
I would love to
saying any of this, too. That's what I don't understand.
I would love to have a conversation with Dr. Erhan or anybody else up there and say, why is this even a thing? Why? I can see other rules that have been put in place. I can understand contact days. I don't understand that. To me, that's just stupid. That's like wiping your butt before you poop stupid.
Right.
Okay?
Agreed.
Right.
That's how stupid
you're
this is.
You're going to make kids that are a sport first.
Stupid.
And you're going to, I got kids that aren't basketball first. Yeah. They're going to pick baseball.
They're going to pick
They're going to pick.
Sure they are.
And then the kids who aren't football kids, they're going to pick basketball. Or they're going to pick wrestling. Or they're going to do something that's not in season because it's like, oh, I have the opportunity to go do this. Yeah, Coach, I'm going to go.
Well, and here's what's also going to happen.
Or if, let's just hypothetically say it's football season, and then you have a practice, and old Johnny Appleseed goes to one of your practices and then tweaks his ankle or his knee.
Yeah. I know.
And he's the stud running back.
So what I do now when I'm in, if it's in season and a football kid comes to open gym, I say,
you're over here.
You're over here shooting baskets. You can't scrimmage.
But now, because of that, you can be like, hey, sorry, new football coach. Hey, per this, I get Johnny. Johnny could play. And now I know he's got a knee, but it's allowed.
I mean, and I
people do it anyway.
Coach Halley's,
I mean, like you say, but
Coach Halley's response here is I like this. You know, ADs and admins can do something about this. They can simply say, we are not doing that here. Simply put, we're not doing that here.
Yeah, and he's right. Nobody's holding a gun to the coach's head to have out-of-season practices. It's gonna be that jackass coach who does it.
I was going to say that's the thing. Well, because every school, it's in the rule, and every school has the predominant program.
Right. And I'm also going to tell you that here's what I'm going to tell you. The schools, and we had this argument last April, May, and June when schools around the entire state were able to participate in games, activities, and all of this. And then, boom, we didn't have anything around here. And our kids were set to but we have to compete against those same schools when it comes season time. And our kids were at a disadvantage. Yeah. So if you have a school that says, we're not doing this, automatically you're telling that school and those kids, you're putting them as a disadvantage because that other school is going to do it.
Don't you think it's going to put ADs in a position where they're going to have to make that decision?
I think it's already there, though. I mean, Chris brought it up and said, contact days are a joke or the abiding by, and so it's already there. Like, it's already there. How many times do we see?
I only have 20 contact days, and I don't even use more.
We've probably have 50-plus years of teaching between the three of us, and how many times, can we count and say either a new coach comes in any sport and wants to automatically put their thumbprint on the program and say, we're going to do all these things, and I want my kids at all these events, and you, as an established coach, have already said, hey, look, this is what we do in the summer, and it completely derails the things that you have done over the years. But when you try and go back and say, hey, hold on, time out, we've already got this situated, sorry. There's no back.
Or you've got a kid that plays for you and them, and they're trying to impress that new coach.
Exactly.
So guess what they're going to go do? Exactly. They're going to go to that coach because they're trying to impress. They're trying to make a statement to that new coach that somebody completely doing different here.
And you notice I'm being quiet.
Well, no, but that's across the board, across the state. It's
not just here. It's not just
everywhere.
Here. It's going to go across the board because there's constantly going to be changes in coaches. And I feel like that is a struggle, and now you're putting a kid at a terrible disadvantage.
This is why
why are we here?
Why are we making kids make those decisions?
That's why
they shouldn't have to make those decisions.
Yes, that's why 100%. I will always say, cut it off and say, each sport gets 1 week over the summer, Monday through Friday, 2 hours of camp, and that's it.
No, I don't like that.
I do, because it completely takes away any of these issues. And if they want to get better, then they can go on their own as a family and go participate in some teams, some select sport.
Nope.
Well, that's my opinion.
I think you just let the kids in the summer. You just let them do what they want. I think if they want to come every single day.
But it's not.
They want to come in every single day and play football or play baseball or do whatever they want.
But you don't have to require it. But you should.
I shouldn't have to require it.
That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be allowed for. If you want to say,
just make the dead period 2 weeks and let's just go. The contact days thing is stupid anyway.
No, but what I'm saying is if you have an athlete and he's a basketball player and a football player, now as soon as you go away from outside of this week of camp, well, you need to be here, and the football coach is saying you need to be here. Now we're right back where we started. Instead of saying, here's my week of camp, here's his week of camp, outside of that, the school's open, do what you want, but coaches, you are not required to be there. As a matter of fact, don't be there.
So you're saying just the camp weeks, they're
That's
required?
It.
Oh, I can go with that.
But outside of that, then it's a level playing field for anybody. And if Johnny wants to shoot, and if Johnny wants to work on a spiral, then he can go do that on his own.
Well, I think that you should be able to come to the school and do anything activity-wise anytime you want.
If the kid wants to, but not involved with you as the coach.
No, I mean, but that makes more sense than what we currently have with 20 contact days, that if you only have 2 kids show up to anything, you burned a contact day.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Well,
that's pretty stupid.
Here's my deal.
I'm sorry, I'm using stupid a lot.
And I'm not going to lie to you.
It happens. I'm going home.
I'm worried about that because I'm having an open gym pretty soon. It's going to be one of my contact days.
Yeah.
And what if I have 4 kids show up? Then it counts.
Yeah.
I have 4.
You need to just walk out.
I'm gone.
Have the janitor come in and
tell
do
him,
it.
Hey,
and say, "Can you supervise these?"
Well, here's my deal, and I don't know how.
It's true,
I don't know how some of you guys will.
I
agree.
mean, if you want to get away from the contact day thing.
No, here's my deal.
Or have a parent do
have volleyball, football. They get July.
And softball.
And softball, they all get July. And then basketball.
It's too hot outside.
Gets June. And then be done with it.
What about wrestling?
Well, okay, that's what I'm. Okay, basketball's the same time as wrestling, so yes.
June.
What about
they
baseball?
get June.
Baseball's already playing in the summer.
They're doing that.
Yeah,
What about track and field?
They're already doing that.
They're 360 days a year almost.
Yeah.
Cross country.
They're all conditioning.
Cross country
that's
that's
just
conditioning.
conditioning.
It's
Yeah.
just
conditioning.
So
as long
You
as
can
they're
do
not
that
being
360. It don't matter. It's conditioning.
So
Gotta do it over a Zoom call.
I really honestly think that this is going to hurt.
I think it's going to hurt high school sports.
It's going to hurt more athletes. It's going to hurt high school
It's going to
athletes.
wind up hurting I'm sorry, I'm going to say this, whatever. It's going to wind up hurting the coaches, and it's going to hurt their families, and it's going to hurt their livelihood, and it's going to hurt. That's who it's going to
You
affect.
sound hurt.
And it's going to trickle down. Because at the end of the day, you're competing against you, and you're competing it's cutthroat, and it's
you were truly competing against the other guys I'm coaching with.
Yes, we already are.
Yeah, and this is making it worse.
Yes.
Or you're competing against him, but your job's on the line. So is his, but he can do it, and you can't. So guess what? Next May, you may not have a job because you didn't get able to do what he was able to do because it wasn't consistent across the board.
It'd be March.
And
or his kids were more basketball oriented than mine.
yes.
There you go.
So I just think it really puts the kids and the coaches at a disadvantage, and really it makes us have to make a decision: is do we want to put that time in, or do we want to kind of go away from that and say, let's do what's best for our kids? Because there are multiple kids. This is why we're here.
But the problem is, it's not going to be in the coach's hands to make those decisions.
I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be.
I don't think so.
I think it's gonna be. I don't think the administrators and the athletic directors, honestly, I don't think that they're going to have to make that decision because if they do the can of worms across the board, if this school is not successful at any point in time, who are they going to look at? Us.
You already have coaches that will say, "Don't go to his practice."
Yeah.
Don't go to his practice.
Absolutely,
so why?
You do.
But why? Well, because one, I'm in season, he's not, and then 2, I don't want you to get hurt, and then 3, you need to be more dedicated to my sport. He's saying the same thing. He's saying the same thing. He's saying the same thing in a roundabout way. You may now, knowing who we know, he's never going to say, don't go to an open gym. You're never going to tell somebody, don't go get swings in, even if it is at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, and we have a district playoff game. You're never going to tell that kid, don't do it.
Right.
But there are adults out there, because once again, just like in anything, there's got to be a bottom.
It's frustrating, and I tell you, this is going to make a very difficult way of trying to find more coaches. You're going to see a lot of coaches.
It's a struggle right now. Think about how many we know
turn it in
that
be done
are either retired guys, retired gals, or
Or they're not coaching.
They're not even
they're just teaching.
They're not even teaching.
Or they're not in teaching at
That's
all.
what I'm saying. Yeah, they're coaching. It's not even teaching.
And it's gonna be a big struggle. I think it's gonna be a big struggle, and if they continue to keep this after this year.
Let's get out of here, guys.
Certainly.
Arrayable.
Before I start throwing things, because I'm really fed up with how things are going tonight with my equipment in here.
Oh, I thought he was mad at us.
I'm so mad at you guys.
Real quick before we close, Ray, I want to make sure that we mention that this segment was brought to you by La Pachanga here in Herculaneum. They've been our proud sponsor here for the last month for
that
segment
beautiful
3.
Poster up there on their wall.
Yes, and so you're ever in Herculaneum La Pachanga, feel free to take a picture with this nice little poster up behind us.
Our page.
And post it on the Coach's Box page and your page and say that you were at Herculaneum La Pachanga.
Post it on La Pachanga's page.
And they would love one thing. They've been very supportive of us to be able to allow us to host this show here for over 50 weeks in a row.
63.
63, but we did not start here. We
I
had
know.
1 week, and then we had about 10 weeks of
That's true.
of Zoom. But then after that, we've been here since pretty much probably, I think we all came here in August. If I'm
Sounds
not
about
mistaken.
right. Sounds
so,
about right.
We've been here for a pretty good amount of time, and so I think it's, nothing better to say than what Herculaneum La Pachanga has done for the Coach's Box. They've been very gracious. I know we're not having good technical issues right now, but we appreciate Herculaneum La Pachanga for their hostess of our show for the last 50-something weeks. So we appreciate it, and they are a sponsor for third segment here. So thank you to Herculaneum La Pachanga and Joel here and all of his crew.
There you have it.
Hey, and we didn't have to buy one meal tonight. Coach Reese's thing didn't work.
That's right. We didn't. Sorry, Coach. But good try. Good try.
All right, there you go. There you have it. All
There
right,
you have
we're
it.
froze
There you
up
are.
again here, so you won't even get to see my ugly mug here. Thanks for watching the Coach's Box. We will see you next week. Don't forget tomorrow night, graduation. We also have, that's at 8 o'clock over at Grandview. We also have Main Street Sports coming up. That will be at 3 o'clock, our Main Street Sports segment for the standouts for baseball and softball. So tune in then. That will be right here. Here I am back here. And thanks so much for watching tonight. We will see you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.